So just let's get straight with it. First thing we're gonna do, we're gonna chop the sweet potatoes. That's the first thing we're gonna do because we're gonna roast our sweet potatoes. So Kennedy's about to get her gloves. While she put her gloves on, we actually started peeling our potatoes, but we actually want to peel our potatoes. So first, wash your potatoes off. That's the first thing you want to do. You want to wash your potatoes off, which we already have done. And then right after you finish washing your potatoes, you're going to peel them. Okay. Give me gloves. While she's getting her gloves on, I'm going to tell you a fun fact about sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are great. You know, I love sweet potatoes. They help manage diabetes. You know, what's the word I'm looking for? They're not as high in glycemic, so they're real good for diabetics. Sweet potatoes are also anti-inflammatory, and they also help improve hair and skin. As you can see, I'm shining because I eat a lot of sweet potatoes, you know. But so we're here now. Kennedy, wait, let's start slightly. So remember, I showed you got to cut in the center. So let's start with a potato, actual whole potato. Okay, yeah, let's get the greens out of it. If I'm moving too fast, you need to tell me slow down, just say it, and we'll slow it down and make it happen for you. So we're gonna start by cutting it in the center. You got it? All right, you're gonna lay it flat. Once you cut it in half, you're gonna lay it flat down. All right, and then you're gonna turn it, and then you're gonna cut. Again, you don't want real thick pieces because we're getting ready to roast them. You gotta remember, the thicker it is, the harder, the longer it's gonna take to actually get soft. So we want pretty thin potato bites. And Kennedy's doing a great job right now. Cut it off. You don't have to necessarily cut it all off. Okay. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Look like that's Christy. Okay. Hey, Christy. Yeah, how you doing, Miss Christy? You look like you getting into it with the sweet potatoes. At least you're trying. I can't really quite see, but that's the only one. Okay, all right. Yeah, I'm trying to see. I'm not ready.
What we'll do towards the end of tonight's event is we'll go to tile review.
Okay.
So everybody can show their dish.
Okay. All right. That'll work. So sweet potatoes, you can do a lot with sweet potatoes. You know, you can actually roast them. You can fry them as French fries, which I do sometimes. You know, you can bake them, or as like a whole sweet potato. Sometimes I do that in the morning. Like I throw a whole sweet potato in the oven, and I'll bake it, smash it with some. Once it's done, I'll smash it with some agave and a little pumpkin seeds. So agave is actually a sweetener that comes from plants, the cactus family to be exact. Is actually a great alternative sweetener other than sugar, and it's low in glycemic if you get it in its raw form. If some of you haven't heard of agave, you can buy agave at your local store. You know, you can find it in your Whole Foods or Rouse's. They have it pretty much everywhere. So she's getting ready to put everything into her bowl, right? And all we're gonna do is take a little oil. Once you get everything into the bowl, okay. We're gonna take a little oil, right? I use preferably avocado oil. You know, you can use olive oil, rapeseed oil. That's what I would prefer. Sometimes I use coconut oil. Coconut oil actually gives it a great flavor. But what she's doing is she's fully covering sweet potatoes with avocado oil, and then a sprinkle of salt. Just a sprinkle of salt. You don't need much salt, just a little salt to help them soften a little quicker. Like I said, family, we really focus on keying in on real simple. We simplify this meal. Like we want to eat healthy, but simple and flavorful as well. So after she's done that, she's gonna throw it on the cooking sheet. If you have a cooking sheet, don't. I recommend everyone should have a cooking sheet. But I mean, you can use a aluminum foil pan or something like that nature. But we're pretty much just gonna lay them flat across the cooking sheet so that we can bake them in the oven, roast them in the oven on 375 degrees to be exact. Okay, so once as you can see, she's spreading them out real, giving them room. They're giving them room so that they can bake. They can bake easily. You know, they're not on top of each other. Sometimes when potatoes on top of each other, it's hard for them to thoroughly bake. All right. So the next thing we're gonna do Is we going to?
I have a question, Sharon.
Okay, I have a question. What's your question?
Question was, what difference does the parchment paper make?
Okay. So parchment is so that the sweet potatoes doesn't stick. But you don't have to preferably use parchment paper. What you can do is take a little oil on your baking sheet and just rub it at the bottom of your baking sheet, and that'll be fine as well. You know, sometimes I don't always have parchment, but since we have parchment, I'm using it. But it's great. This is just great so that they don't stick to the pan per se. Okay, so we got our sweet potatoes on the baking sheet. The next thing we're gonna do is eggplant. Eggplant, steak eggplant. This is this is steak season, right? This is steak season, right? It's a steak season, right? So this is steak. Okay, great, awesome. Thank you. All right, so after you wash the eggplant, right? After you wash your eggplant, you want to cut it about 1/4. Like you see, I don't know if you guys can really see it, but it's not really thick, right? You want a thin slice cut eggplant. So we're gonna focus in on cutting our eggplant. And these going in the oven as well. You know, so what I like to do is I like to start on what's gonna take the longest, you know. So while that's cooking, I can be working on other things. That's how I tend to work in the kitchen. Okay, that's pretty good. Yeah, you don't have to go cut the whole thing. Yeah, that's cool. So yeah, just cut as much as you can until you can't, you know, you don't want to really hurt yourself or whatnot. So what you do with these eggplants, you want to take that bowl right there, Kenny, and it's the same as you did with the sweet potatoes, right? So what you want to do is sorry, wait. We're gonna put some oil into the bowl, right? And you're just gonna make sure that the eggplant is thoroughly massaged with oil. Okay? And then after that, what we're gonna do is put some steak seasoning.
They have it at home.
Okay, so you have your steak seasoning at home, which is great. You're gonna take the steak seasoning and you're gonna literally season it into the bowl, right? Don't be scared to really season. You know, like I like a lot of flavor. And you might see me add more seasoning once we put it on the parchment paper. You know, eggplant really doesn't have a sweet taste, so it's really how you season it. You know, how you season it is how the eggplant is gonna really taste. So that's what I like about eggplant because not only it's a protein for vegans, boy, it's a option like a protein kind of like meat option, very meaty, but you can also manipulate the taste to how you want it. So we're gonna take it to our baking pan. And like I said, if you don't have parchment paper, you can just oil your pan and place them neatly, just like she's doing. That'll do all right. Yeah, that's good. That's good. So we're gonna throw a little more seasoning on top. Throw a little more seasoning on top and a little more salt. Salt is gonna help you soften, right? Throw the moisture out. And then you go.
How do you think so, Chef? You think so instead of regular iodine?
Okay, so I use pink salt, preferably because it's lighter, for one, and two, is also a mineral, you know. Pink Himalaya salt to be specific. Um, Iodine salt really isn't the best. I grew up on iodine salt, and not to talk down on iodine salt, but I've witnessed many people with high blood pressure and whatnot stray away from it, but the doctors have told them to stray away from it. But I like pink salt specifically because it's just light. You know, it don't take a lot. It don't take a lot to get the seasoning, but to actually, get the taste or whatnot. Excuse me. So the next thing we're gonna do, if everyone has already done it, we're gonna throw it in the oven on 375 degrees. So I'm gonna tell you right quick, the sweet potatoes, make sure that they're not dry. You want to make sure they're kind of like a bit wet. So if you need to, just add a little oil on the sheet. It's not gonna hurt, especially if you're using like avocado oil, olive oil. It's real great. So we're gonna throw that in the oven and let that roast for about. We're gonna check on it in the next 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and we're gonna get ready to move to the next thing. Any questions? Anyone concerned? I'm going too fast. Can't understand me? Anything? Okay. Thank you so much, man. Yeah, I'm trying. Yeah, just encouraging me. So the next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna get everything out the way first. So, so while it's roasting, the next thing we're gonna do, family, is our Creole greens. I personally love Creole greens. That's one of the staples at my restaurant. A lot of people love the greens, so pretty much I use cabbage, I use collard greens, and I use cabbage. Oh, I'm sorry, cabbage, kale. Kale, that's funny. Yeah, that's funny. So, yeah, right? So the first thing that I do with my greens, which these, by the way, are great greens. Like, you can tell they're local, they've been taken care of real well, beautiful. So what I do is I peel them, right? I take the stem, I de-stem them. Not sure if you can see me, but I de-stem them. And the stems, unfortunately, I toss. Or if you have a garden, what you can do is you can use it for compost. This is great for compost. So you're gonna break off. Wait. Depending on how many people you feed. I don't know if you need the whole actual bunch or whatnot, but you're gonna pretty much break off the kale. I mean your avocado. And while we're breaking off the collards, you definitely want to get either a pot of water or a bowl or anything that you can wash your produce in, because that's very important. What I typically wash my produce in is water, and I use some apple cider vinegar. Maybe about a few tablespoons, like 2-3 tablespoons. Not much apple cider vinegar at all. I use more water than apple cider, right? And I just find that apple cider really cleans. It really cleans the produce real well. And not only that, I find that it hydrates it. Like sometimes if my kale might come in a little dehydrated, I put in some water with some apple cider, and it fluffs up. Like it's like a whole new life. Like the apple cider mixed with the water gave it life. And not only that, it really does a great job cleaning. By the time I move all of my produce out of my water is very cloudy. You can see the little critters floating. Unfortunately, they had to go, but I personally like to see the critters. Why? Because that's when you know that the produce is organic. You know, it's good. Anytime you see bugs, it's a good sign. You know, that's showing that nature is willing to eat it, so you should be able to eat it. You know, seriously. So while we doing that, this could take some time, honestly. I like breaking down greens. It's very meditative to me. You know, I sit there and I really focus on my breathing, and I really begin thinking about my day. You know, just listen to music. It's very meditative. You know, cooking in general, I really enjoy doing it. But washing greens specifically, I feel great about doing that as well. So don't forget, you want to get your pot or a bowl, anything of that nature, to break down your greens, and you're gonna fill it up with water. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna add a little apple cider vinegar. If you don't have any vinegar, that's fine. You can just use water, or you could use lemons. I've done that before too. I ran out of apple cider. I take some lemons and I squeeze a little of that into my water because lemons are very cleansing as well. You know. While they're breaking that up, fun fact about collard greens, you know, they're excellent source in vitamin A, vitamin C, and calcium, and they're a great source in iron. You know, so anybody that has any iron problems, you know, anemic or anything like that, your greens is where it's at. You know, your chlorophyll. You definitely want to get full of the chlorophyll. Do your rinse again with the plain wet water after rinse. Yes, you can rinse them again. You know, you can rinse them as however many times you want. That's what I do. I let them soak, but once I get them in the water, I actually massage my greens. You know, I massage it in the water, and I actually talk to it. I give it life. Like I really like beautiful, loving. Like I literally give love to the food. You know, use your magic. You know, it's called juju. Use your juju. You know, so you talk to your greens because your greens are very live. You know, they're still living. And that's what I love about a plant-based lifestyle is that the foods are alive, you know, and it's here put on the planet to give us life, you know. So yes, definitely you want to once they soak, you massage them, and then you throw them in either a strainer or anything. If you don't have a strainer, do like I do sometimes. I take the corner and I hold my greens and I just make sure nothing fall, right? And I just take the water off, and that's fine as well. You can do that. So we just about done with the collards. The next thing we want to do is the kale. So this is the kale. Beautiful kale. You can tell that it's locally grown. Like I mean, I can't, man. It's a beautiful kale. Like I can honestly just eat this raw. Like I can actually massage this with some olive oil or something, salt, pepper, and lemon juice, and just massage it. Massage it till it's soft. And I eat my kale raw just like that at times too. I don't always cook it. So we're gonna break down the kale. So as Kennedy breaking down the kale, tell you a few fun facts about kale. You know, it's loaded with antioxidants. You know what I mean? Vitamin C, again, like I said, the chlorophyll is where it's at. You know, anybody afraid of the corona situation, load up on greens. Load up on a lot of it. Because they tell you vitamin C, right? Vitamin C is how you boost your immune. Chlorophyll is how you boost your immune. Right? Kale also helps it lowers cholesterol and it reduces heart disease. You know, I have a couple of family members that actually dealing with heart problems. You know, and it's just from years and years of eating, you know, food, greasy food. You know, a lot of times we don't, give our body the tools it needs sometimes to actually cleanse. Everybody eats what they want to eat, but then, you should at least try to eat clean or strive to do some kind of detoxing, whether it be abstaining from fried foods or, desserts or whatever the case may be, because, we eating all these unhealthy foods all the time and not really balancing it with eating live, chlorophyll, healthy, vibrant foods, that can actually, once digested, break down the plaque, right? Like literally, that's what greens do. When you eat it, it really takes the grimy and pulls all that stuff down from the esophagus, and it helps the heart to fight against all kind of plaque. Because that's what really heart disease is, right? It's just plaque that's been caked up all around the heart from years and years and years of not eating and not detoxing.
So, all right, if I could have a quick moment. As Chef is talking about the green produce and the food that you guys have all received in your boxes this evening, I just want to take this opportunity to thank one of our sponsors of the event, Top Box Foods, who you guys will recognize their insignia and logo on the box. We've been partnered with Top Box Foods for quite a few years now, and have been very happy to champion and advocate for the work that they do. For those of you who don't know, who just received the box this evening, if you were to go to their website, you'll see that their mission is to get whole, healthy foods into communities that need the most. So a lot of their work is partnering with local farmers, but also trying to figure out how to get that farm to communities in need, low-income communities that are not maybe as educated on the benefits of health that Chef is talking about this evening, about the importance of eating healthy food. So we are very proud to work alongside of Top Box and support their initiative. And as you can see, they support our work and what we do here at Liberty's Kitchen, working with young people just like Kennedy to guide them towards opportunities for success through food and food service industry opportunities. So thank you to Top Box for providing the produce this evening and supporting us. And please, if you can support them, go to their website and check them out. Thank you very much.
Yes. Shout out to Top Box. Beautiful produce, seriously. I love it. Even this cabbage, I can feel the vibrancy. It's light, it's beautiful. So that's the next thing we're gonna cut. So after you got your kale pulled off, right? You're gonna pull your kale off the stems. The stem should look like this, right? Kale should be gone. You're gonna throw that into your sink, into your water thing. Then you're gonna break down your cabbage. On the knife. I'll get it. So I'll show you a quick way right fast to break down your cabbage. So what I do is I take the head and I flip it sideways, right? Be careful while you're doing it. And you're gonna cut straight down the middle. Wow, look how beautiful. Like this cabbage is just amazing, like a flower, right? And then you see the stalk right here? You're gonna cut around this stalk. You're gonna cut the sides. The stalk is the actual center part, right? This center, this hard part we're gonna toss that, so you wanna cut around it, right? Like so. And then we're gonna put that to the side, because we're not gonna use that part, right? And then we're going to our head, we're gonna lay it down. Okay, like so. I like to call it a tic-tac-toe we cut. It's like I'm literally doing that. All right. So your cut should look like this, and then we're gonna throw that into the mix as well. Okay, gonna finish the rest. While she finishes the rest, fun fact about cabbage is it's anti-inflammatory, right? It can aid in constipation. You know, like I said, that fiber, you know, anything leafy and green is gonna help with constipation, inflamed joints, you know, arthritis, you know, like it's anti-inflammatory, right? Great source of fiber, vitamin C again, and vitamin K. You know, these are the things that's gonna help that skin glow, you know. All right. So we're gonna throw that into the mix. Okay. So what I was saying is you wanna actually need a little more water, right? But so you wanna literally get in there. See, I need more water in the time. Your water should really be filled up a little over your greens. Yeah, your vegetables should definitely be submerged in the water. And you want to really like get in there and really like wash your produce. Like, you know, back in the day, before washers was invented, our ancestors used to literally wash their clothes with their hands. Like, it's like that kind of readiness. Like, you got to get in there, you know, and give it some energy, give it some love, you know, speak to it. You know, thank Mother Nature, you know, Mother Earth for providing another great meal for you. You know, so after it's washed, you can let it soak if you want. I'm talking about not right now, but on your own time, you can actually allow it to soak as well for about 15, 20 minutes. And you will see a huge difference. Okay. So while that's soaking for a second, the next thing we're gonna do is cut our onions and our bell peppers. So we need a yellow onion, right? I think that's in your top box. We also have the red bell pepper. I like the cooker color, you know. I say yellow, I say red. I say red, right? Your yellow bell pepper and your green as well. This is gonna be for our greens, right? So we're gonna dice our yellow onion. Switch up Kennedy, you're gonna show them. Right? And while she's cutting the onion, I don't have a fun fact for it on the bag, but I can tell you that if you don't watch out, it'll make you cry. You know? I've heard different things about it, like a cup of water next to you, and none of that have worked for me though. You know, I know it's an old grandmother trick, but I just cry, you know, and I wipe my eyes and just get back to it. Sometimes I walk away because the onion can be so potent that I will literally walk away and my eyes will be burning. But I mean, that's a good thing, you know. It just shows you how potent and how strong this onion is. So just think of it, what it's doing inside of your body, meaning like really cleaning, you know, getting rid of anything that's not supposed to be in there. You know, so I love onions. You see she's getting in there. And all you're doing is pretty much dicing it. If you don't like the dice, I sometimes I wouldn't even dice mine sometimes. I would probably like do a big rough, like it just be big old pieces of onion. I love onions, so. But if you're not an onion eater like that, I would suggest try dicing it so that you don't have to taste it as much. By the way, that's a great dice.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
I hope everyone is doing great. And they have these sweet potatoes in the oven. Eggplant is roasting right now. and we're working on the greens. Working on the greens. Okay, so we're gonna just throw. So once you finish dicing your onion, you're gonna just throw it in a small bowl. Anything you can use, just put it to the side. There's no oil in the bowl. There's actually water, so you don't have to actually put oil in your bowl or anything like that. Just keep your veggies raw. The next time we will use oil is when it's time to steam them in the pot. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna cut half of the red bell pepper. You don't have to actually cut your whole bell pepper because it's already a lot of bell pepper. But like I say, I like to use different color to cook with it because it does something to my soul. It does something to my spirit, you know. I don't know if anyone is into metaphysics or whatnot, but it reminds me of chakras. You know, chakras are spinning wheels of light that's inside of us, and aura. You know, you ever seen a real aura, and then it kind of reminds you of a rainbow. So I kind of like to eat on those type of bases, you know, things that will enhance my aura, and none other than red, green, and yellow bell peppers can actually do it for you. All right, that's a great. That's a great question. He asked if there's any different taste to the taste profile. The red, honestly, that's a great question. That's a great question. I'm gonna have to get back to you.
That's just one I've always wanted because I've seen in different recipes. And
Yeah.
Some chefs say they're interchangeable, and some chefs say they're not. And I don't know if it's more like color or if it's more that.
Okay.
I find that the red bell peppers have a sweeter taste to them.
Right.
Yellow and orange bell peppers can be a lot more mellow than either side of the spectrum.
Let's go see this.
Okay. Come see this.
Chef D isn't even giving a great explanation. I don't think any of y'all are getting it though. So she's gonna tell y'all again her thoughts as a chef about the different colors of the peppers.
Hey.
Take it away, chef.
Okay. I find that the red bell pepper has a sweeter flavor to it than the green, and then the two the peppers that are in the middle, so to speak, the orange and yellow bell peppers both have a mellow flavor to them, and then the green pepper tends to just have the slightly bitter but very aromatic effect in your food. That's it.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. And
That's why it takes sometimes more than one chef in the kitchen to make it.
totally. Like I say, I always tell people I don't know it all, but I can tell you all that I know.
There you go.
You know.
That's what I was on a t-shirt.
I know, right? But yeah, so I tend to use red bell peppers a lot, and it makes sense, you know, that it actually has a sweet taste. But yeah, I appreciate that, Chef D.
As an artist, I can tell you, I don't know about chakras, but I definitely appreciate the idea of eating color and eating rainbows.
Yeah.
But that reflects about your joy in life. So I really appreciate you saying that, Chef.
Totally. So Kenny's doing a great job dicing, by the way. You know, I think Liberty Kitchen has trained her well. You know. Okay, so hopefully everyone is being successful with dicing the bell peppers. They already got through the onions. Hopefully they're not crying. You know. I know it can be taunting sometimes. So we're pretty much at the end of chopping our vegetables for our greens. What I like to do sometimes is I like to check on my sweet potatoes just to see how they cook in. You want to check on your eggplant in the meantime, right before we get into the greens. You want to check and see how they looking, if they're soft. If they're not soft yet, do they look dry? If they look dry, then add a little oil, you know, just add a little oil. But if you can move them around as well. Same with the eggplant. The eggplant, you want to just check and see for softness. If they're still firm, just flip them. You know, you can flip them over or whatnot, just to see how they're going. But all you really want, you just want a soft softness, you know, tender. You just want your veggies to be tender, you know. We season them, and you just want them to be tender. So the next thing we have is we getting ready to get our pot.
So these guys are prepping for the next round. I just want to take an opportunity. Again, I know a lot of you joined tonight and know a little bit about Liberty's Kitchen, but as we keep shouting out Kennedy over here, she's got the colors on, as you can see. For those of you who may be new to our first guest chef night, I do want to take this opportunity to talk a little bit about what Liberty's Kitchen is. You know, we've been established since 2008. We've been around for almost a little over 10 years now. And the benefit of our work is to work with young people and for young people, in service of young people. A lot of us will recognize us for our culinary training program. And what we do is we help young people who are out of school, out of work, normally referred to as the opportunity youth, anyone between 16 to 24 years of age. And we work with them for about 3 months to a year, depending on how long the need is. But basically what we do is we work with them in the kitchen. Chef D, as you met this evening, she is our resident chef culinary instructor here on site. She also helps manage this event. But she works with our young people every day to teach them not just about how to cut and how to cook, but the science of cooking, understanding cooking. And the most important thing I think that we're bringing to the table this year is teaching young people about entrepreneurship and what it means to run a cooking business, or run any business, or cooking as the vehicle. So a lot of the work that we do, if you think you know what we do, Liberty's Kitchen 2.0 is not just about having young people in the kitchen, teaching them how to cut. It's really helping young people understand how food is an opportunity for a better way of life, whether that means a career opportunity, eating better, providing for their communities. All of the above is the answer, and that's what we do here at Liberty's Kitchen. Thank you for participating this evening. Just wanted to give that shout out. And before we move on, I'm going to introduce Kennedy, who's going to tell you a little bit about herself and what the program has meant to her. So Kennedy, take it away.
Hi, I'm Kennedy. I just graduated from the Liberty Kitchen program, the youth program. And I really just want to say the program is really helped me. And as you can see, I'm with Chef Rod. Chef Rod is about one of the best bosses I could ask for. I'm very happy to be working at I-Tal. I can't see myself anywhere else right now but I-Tal. And, you know, the program, I appreciate it and everything that it done for me. And I'm just very grateful for what they've done for me and the people that came here with me. My brother joined the program before me. He don't want to make sure he made me join. And when I joined, my sister-in-law, it just made our lives a lot easier. And all I can really say is thank you. And I'm very appreciative for the Big Kitchen is doing for us now and in the future.
We are very happy to have Ms. Kennedy here with us this evening, showing off her talent. Thank you, Kennedy. I think we're going to move on. Chef has some instructions. Congratulations, Kennedy. Best of luck to you. Ms. Craig, thank you, Ms. Craig. So, Chef, want to tell us what we're doing next?
Yeah, so I just recently went into the oven to check, and I don't know about you guys' oven, but this oven is mega. Like it really, like my vegetables are done pretty much. Like at first I thought I needed to put more oil on my sweet potatoes, but it appears to be tender. Like I said, that's the reason for us cutting them thin, so that we can get actual thin look, right? And you should be able to squeeze. If you can squeeze it, and you know what I mean, they tender, they're ready. So that's how we're doing them. Mostly the sweet potatoes, move them around. If they're not ready, just move them around like so, and then spread them back out and put them back into the oven. But for the most part, our sweet potatoes are ready. Yeah, I mean, it's good. All you looking for is a tenderness. If you can press down and squeeze and it smush, hours already. And yeah, I can show you the next part. We're gonna do it right after we finish the greens. So we're gonna need that to side. Also the eggplant. The eggplant, it didn't take long though. As you can see. Hopefully you got real good. It's the same way. Check it to see symptoms. Oh, you know, if you can press down on it, this is a little too. But this is like a perfect size eggplant right here. That's all you're looking for. You're looking for symptoms. If you can press through them, they're ready. They don't take much at all. You know, they just veggies. They don't take much at all. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get our greens together. So after you cut up your onions, bell peppers, you're gonna come to the you're gonna get you a pot, right? You wanna get you a pot. I got a deep pot because they have a lot of greens over here. But if you have a small, you only chop up a few greens, just you know, get the side pot that'll work. But you're gonna turn your flame on. Okay, you're gonna turn. So I'm sorry for those who can't hear me. So you're gonna get you a pot. You're gonna get you a pot. You're gonna make sure that you turn your stove on, and you want your pot to get hot. You know, you don't want it to get hot to the point where it's smoking, but you want it to get hot. So while it's getting hot, you're gonna throw a tablespoon of oil. Nothing much, just a tablespoon of oil at the bottom of it. And once you've done that, Kennedy, if you like, you can put it into the pot. We're gonna put it into the pot, right? You hear that sizzle? If you hear that sizzle, that means yeah, it's rolling, baby. It's rolling. So the point for this is we want our veggies to become translucent. You know, translucent is kind of like a word for like see-through, but I never could see through my veggies when I saute them, unless it's the onion. Well, what this stuff does is it brings out the flavor more. You know, it brings the flavor out of the peppers and the onions, and it just goes so well together. It's actually my favorite part of cooking, like sauteing onions and bell peppers. You know, like it smells so good, so flavorful. Like it opens the whole house, the whole room. So while we get that a second to cook, which is doing real well, we're going to take our greens. Now make sure your fire is not on high, family. You don't want to burn your stuff, so you want to make sure your flame is like on medium. Okay, so while that's going, the next thing we're going to do is cut our greens. So you're going to grab a fistful of greens, and you're going to put them together like so, right? See? And all you're going to do is just straight down. That's it. Straight down the middle. You can tic-tac-toe it if you want. Boom, 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 boom. Or you can just go straight down. It's all going to cook down. Then we're going to put it in the bowl. All right? Good. So like I said, if you're cooking for yourself, you probably don't need as much greens. But if you're cooking for multiple people, definitely you want to use a good bit of greens. You know, greens when they cook down, it's not as much as you think. It may look a lot, but once it starts cooking down, it's not much at all. Make sure you're stirring up your onions and bell peppers. This way you have to kind of like multitask, if that makes sense. I do this a lot, you know. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I will put on my onions and I'll be chopping my greens at the same time. So if you're not a great multitasker, I suggest you just cut your greens before doing your onions so you can actually watch them and make sure that you don't burn them. So I think this will be good after you cut down. Yeah, just cut them. And if you see them starting to burn, hopefully they're not. Just add a little water. Nope. Just add a little water. That's what I do. Water or vegetable. You know, I use either one. And I turn my fire down a little bit. So Kenny just finished chopping the greens. What we want to do next is throw it in the pot. Throw it in the pot. You know? I wonder how's everyone eggplant doing. And I hope they're doing well. You throw all your greens in there, like so. Beautiful. And what I like to do is I top it off. I add a little water. Yeah, just a little bit of water. That's good right there. You don't need much water. With the water actually does, and it helps steam. You want to turn your fire up a bit to like a medium high. And then what you need to, if you have a top, you want to put a top on it, you know. I couldn't find the top yet, so I kind of like improvise. And, I do this. I find a bowl, stainless steel bowl or something like that. So here's the top. Okay, all right. So me, I'm used to improvising. So, but you want to try to cover your greens so that they can begin smothering and steaming, you know, until softness. Okay, awesome. We have the top, and you're gonna put the top on it. There you go. Voila. Make sure you have the top on it. Man, I hope everyone's with us. I ain't moving too fast. Okay, so our eggplant is out. Our sweet potatoes is out the oven. While our greens cooking, the next thing we're gonna work on is our salad. You know, I don't know about you guys, but I'm a avocado head to the fullness. Like, I love avocado. Like, for a while, it took me a while to really accept them in my life. But once I've done the study and the research, I was like, yeah, I need to eat more of these. You know, it's so many benefits. Like, they have over 20 vitamins and minerals alone. As you can see, my emblem with I-Tal garden, we have an avocado in the bowl. You know, like, it's just the avocado heads. So we're gonna work on our avocado tomato salad. And this is a powerful, powerful salad. Yeah,
I didn't know we have a right good avocado.
Okay, that's a great question. People want to know, how do you know you have a great avocado versus a bad avocado? There's two ways you can do it. You can actually check for the softness, right? If you press down, and if it's like too soft, then chances are it was overripe, meaning that either it's brown in the inside or it's just overripe, which is not a bad thing. I mean, of course, you don't want brown avocados, but I didn't have avocados, but it was real overripe, real soft, and I opened it and it was green, like it was beautiful. So them type of avocados are great, but if they soft and you open it and it's brown, they're not good. You know, you should definitely discard them. Another way to check for if avocados are great without opening them, at the grocery store, you can look at the seed in it. Like, so you pretty much peel this part off. That's good. I don't know if you guys can see, but I peeled that part off and you can look in the inside of it. If you see green and it's not brown, as opposed to this one, you see this one is real brown. So I don't know about this one. We'll see once we open it up. But this one looks pretty good. It feels good. You know, the more you eat avocados, the better you get at picking them as well. You know, I can't stress that enough. But definitely you want to put avocados into your diet, you know, any way possible. If you don't like the texture, I suggest you smash it into guacamole or something. You know, you smash it, put it on a sandwich, or try to hide it some kind of way. But definitely you want to get it into your diet. So, Kennedy, if you like, you want to focus on the salad right now. And this salad is real simple. Like I said, I chose family. I could have did the most, showed y'all the spectacular pasta dishes and all of that, but I was like, yeah, come to restaurant for that. You know, but I just thought that maybe if you just keep it simple, you know, simple eating, simple, you know, just keep it simple and basic, you know, simplicity is the best thing for your body. This is what I've learned, you know. It's great to eat all these different type of dishes and stuff like that. That's great, but it's also even greater to just be simple, you know, simplify. Sometimes I just eat quinoa with sweet potatoes and some chickpeas or something, and I eat all that at one time together. So Kennedy, come over here. You shot. So to make our salad, what we're gonna do is you're gonna need a lemon, right? You're gonna use your avocado, and you're also gonna need great tomatoes. I love great tomatoes, man. Like this is avocado. It took me a while to really accept it, but the more I begin eating a plant-based diet, by the way, I've been eating plant-based for about 11 years now, but the more I began shaping my taste buds into eating plant foods, the more it became susceptible to, you know, things like cherry tomatoes. Like I used to pick that off my sandwich when I was a kid. You know, my mom used to tell me, you need to eat your tomatoes. And I was like, no. But so that's what we're gonna make our salad. It's very simple, family, with a little salt and a little pepper, just a little pepper, not much pepper. So the first thing we're gonna do is you're gonna need a bowl. You're gonna need some kind of bowl. Before we do that, let's check on our greens. Let's check on our greens. You're gonna need either a spoon or a tongue, right? And all you're doing is steam. Yeah, sometimes it's better to do. And all you're doing is moving your greens around, right? Moving them around, making sure they're not burning at the bottom. If they don't have any liquid in the pot, again, add a little water or add a little vegetable broth to it, you know, so that it doesn't burn. But all we're doing is really steaming our greens now. Why that's looking about right. Still not eating the bowl. And need a little bit more water. Add just a little bit more. A little water. You don't want to use too much water. A little water. You know, you gotta remember the veggies in and of itself has its own water content as well. Okay. They look like they need to go a little longer. The collard greens and the cabbage takes the longest to cook out of all of them. So while we at it, we're gonna work on our salad, our raw salad. So the first thing we're gonna do is take our tomatoes, which they're very plump, and these tomatoes is real good. Shout out to top box, like real talk, these is real good tomatoes. We're gonna cut them in half, straight down the middle. You need me to show you that you got it. Okay. Now, if they too big for people that not wanna eat tomato salad, but they don't want to eat this type of big salad, I mean, this type of big tomato, you can also chop this in half. So we can chop it in half. It's kind of big. There you go. So you're gonna chop your half in half into fours. All right. And you're gonna throw it in a bowl. You're gonna put some more. I forgot to mention, make sure you wash all your produce off, man. You have to wash all your produce. We've done it already, but I'm just reiterating because I forgot to tell you. Always wash your produce. Okay. Tomatoes, fun fact about tomatoes, they are antioxidant as well. And they're great for heart disease and cancer. Very powerful. And when you mix them together with avocado, they become even more powerful. You know? And so this is what clean eating is, vital eating, you know, I-Tal eating, vital. You know, I-Tal is the root word for vital, you know, clean, vital eating. All right. So we got that going. We're gonna try to chop up a few more, you know, just a few more, depending on who you're feeding. You know, if you're feeding yourself, you don't have to really chop that many tomatoes. If you're feeding more people, by all means. As your greens begin to wilt, I wanted to make a side note. As your greens begin to wilt, just turn your fire down a little. You know, you don't have to keep it to a medium high per se. You can actually put it to like a medium low, close to low. Because at this point now, you just want it to simmer in a sense. All right, so she done that. The next thing we want to do. Right. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to take our avocados and we're going to be careful when you're doing this, but you're going to slightly seize off until you can actually feel the avocado pit. It's a pit inside, and you cut around that pit like so. Like I told you, this is the avocado I felt that was real good. Let's see how it looks on the inside. Beautiful. Look at that, family. I told him avocado here, so I know. I know. And see the pit right here? This pit has so much nutrients in it. Like I've read that sometimes people will actually blend this pit or grind it, and they'll put it on top of the salad and stuff like that as a garnish. Now this avocado I was kind of shaky about, honestly. Let's just see how it looks. Remember, you're gonna seesaw till you get to the pit. Once you feel the pit, you're gonna work the knife all the way around. Let's see how this one is. See? Beautiful. Shout out to Top Box. This is a beautiful avocado. Like I told you, sometimes they can be mushy, but then when you open it, it's right. I mean, the fats and everything in it is just perfect. Like it's, man, my mouth watering. Sorry, y'all. Getting hungry. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, Kennedy. Okay, I can show you. So right before I show you, let's go back to the greens. Let's just, you know, you can't forget the greens, you know. This is what we call multitasking cooking, you know. I know a lot of you guys do it a lot. And yeah, it looks real good there. It smells good too. They need to go season on it, you know. But so So what you want? So what you're looking for is tenderness. You want to make sure your greens are tender, you know. Soft enough to chew. It's that simple, you know. A lot of people like to really cook them all the way down to the point where you can't even chew them, they just turn liquid. I know people that do that. But me, I like to not cook my greens all the way down. I like to have some kind of texture and fiber because, like again, you know, cooking it too much, you can actually lose the nutrients from it, you know. And that's what we're trying to do is cook to eat the nutrients, not cook the nutrients totally out. All right, so the greens look good. I turned them on low. Soon we're getting ready to add our seasonings and whatnot. But before we do that, we're gonna finish our salad. So this is our avocado tomato salad. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take this avocado, cut it in the center, and then once you cut it in the center, you're gonna peel the actual peeling off, right? Just gonna peel it. You see how that goes? This is the peel, right? And I just literally peel the peeling off the avocado. And if you really love avocado, I put a little salt on it and I just eat the avocado straight out the out the peeling. That's how much I love avocado. I don't know about you, but and my baby, he loves avocado. And other 3 children, I have 4 kids, you know, and all of them were raised on a plant-based diet. And this is the first food that we introduced them to upon after breastfeeding, you know, avocados, you know, and they can't get enough of it. So as Kennedy peel them off, I'm gonna show you what we do once you peel them off. It's just pretty much cutting them and dicing them, that's all. And cutting and dicing them. Center. And remember, don't peel them while they hold like this. You want to actually cut them the half into a half, right? Into a full. So that it can be easier for you to peel off. Like so. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna literally dice it. And it should be like little bit of cubes, like so. I'm gonna throw them in your bowl. I can do it again, show you. Down, turn that around, just like so. And it should come as little bit of chunks. Right, like so. Yeah, I hope everyone's doing great out there. Any challenges, anything, any questions, feel free to ask. Like I said, I don't know it all, but I can tell you all that I know. And yeah, definitely. I'm sorry, I got stuck in the avocado. I told you I'm the avocado head, so I literally was watching her. Then I haven't ate yet, you know. I haven't ate food yet. You know, I had a protein shake this morning. That's about it. But enough about me. But she's done a real good job so far. So she almost just about done with that. Hopefully you are done as well. All right. We're gonna throw it into the bowl like so. Beautiful. Beautiful. Man, this looks so good. I never thought I'd be saying this 10 years ago, 15 years ago, you know, where like the more you eat healthy and the more you strive to eat healthier foods, your taste buds begins to change, you know, like it really, mine has really switched up tremendously. So okay, she finished the avocado. The next thing we're gonna take the lemon, and we're gonna cut that in half. If you have a lemon squeezer, that's great. If you don't have a lemon squeezer, that's fine too. You just may have to once you squeeze it, and the seeds fall into it, you might just have to pick the seeds out. So what we're doing with the lemon is we're gonna squeeze it on top of your salad. The lemon is not only for flavor, but it's also for so that the avocado doesn't brown. You know, it doesn't brown. It's a great preservative, you know. You're gonna get all that on there. Good. Okay. And then we're gonna you can either use a spoon, or you can use your hand, or you can use some tongs. But you want to actually like toss, or you can use a spatula or rubber spatula. While Kennedy gets the spatula for us. Yeah, rubber spatula work. We're gonna work around, right? And you want to be real gentle. You know, you don't want to like beat up your avocado to the point where you want it to stay intact and everything to look good. Okay. So after she's done that, you're gonna take a pinch of salt, just a pinch of it. You don't need really much. A pinch of salt, and you're gonna sprinkle it all around. Yeah, do one more. One more salt, and then you're gonna use some black pepper, just a little pepper. Don't need much pepper at all. There you go. And then you're gonna move it around. Very simple. I mean, like I said, this is a simplistic meal. This is just we're eating for nutrients in this case right now. You know,
But it's a good excuse. A lot of people say that eating healthy takes a lot of preparation. This is something in this matter of minutes.
right. Yeah, a lot of people say that, that's good. That's perfect. A lot of people, find ways to make excuses on why they can't eat healthy. Like it being too much to prep. So that's why I say I try to focus. Sometimes it can be, anything could be too much to prep depending on what you're making. But today specifically, I wanted to do something simple and basic and tasty as well. So we finished our salad. This is our salad right here. Beautiful. Loving how it looks. Covered with lemon juice. And now we're going to get to our greens.
So the question, where's the cucumber?
Oh, where's my cucumber? I don't have a cucumber. You know what? The cucumber goes into the salad as well. Thanks for for mentioning that, Because yeah, I was looking for the cucumber. Yeah, unfortunately I didn't have my cucumber. But the cucumber goes in the salad as well. It really does. And I eat the salad like this so much that I honestly forgot about the cucumber. So the cucumber, you wash the cucumber off, and you're gonna cut it in half, right? It's the same way we did the sweet potatoes. And you're gonna slice them thin, pretty thin. Unless you're a cucumber lover, you can slice them thick, but slice them real thin. While we wait on our cucumber to come, I'm gonna check on the green. So green is good, real good. Real good. It's beautiful, right? See that? The nice percent. There's a sauce ready to go, ready to be seasoned. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take depending on how much you have. You're gonna use some garlic powder. You're gonna use some onion powder. gonna sprinkle sprinkle the taste too, you know. You know, everybody's taste buds is different. Some people like more garlic than onion. Some people like onion and garlic. But you're gonna use a little onion and garlic powder both. You're gonna also put some salt. I would say, depending on how much you think, I would say put in 2 tablespoons of salt in it. Greens, you didn't make much greens. Or vice versa. You're gonna use a little black pepper, a little bit, and Creole seasoning. Just a little Creole seasoning. You don't need much yet. I think this is I think this is the Creole seasoning is just a bunch of seasons put together and they call it Creole. I mean, you know, personally, I make my Creole right, but there are different types of Creoles, Salad, Tony Savage. I do use Tony Savage from time to time. I don't use much of it because of the salt content. You know, it can be salty and stuff. But like I said, I use this little bit to bring rain. But my true weapon to making great greens outside of the Creole season is a veggie bouillon. Bouillon. It is not chicken bouillon. It's not chicken. But for some reason it gives it that flavor. You want a vegetable. It's a veggie bouillon. I'm sorry, a veggie bouillon. And what you're going to do is you're going to throw bouillon in there and on the side of the pot with some liquid. You're going to actually splash the bouillon. You're going to splash the bouillon, right? Now make sure you got it in some liquid. A little bit of water. If you don't have any water in the bottom of the pot, add a little water. And then you splash the bouillon on the side of the pot. Then once the bouillon is fully splashed, right? You want to get it, stir it up. Stir it up. I use 2 bouillon. Give it a fresh veggie. Nice enough. I'm going to use one more bouillon. That's enough bouillon. It's right there in the yeah. Put a little salt. And if you only got one bouillon, that's cool. You can just add a little bit more seasoning or whatnot. Garlic powder, white powder. Like I said, see, I smash it. I don't show you bouillon in the green, the thing that it's going to go. Like I say, you can experiment. You're going to get a mouthful of greens and bouillon. It's not a great taste. It's actually a concentrated taste. Laughing at myself for the minute time. That's why I came up with the technique of actually taking the bouillon and smashing the long pot so that you can actually stir it into your mix. So your greens, like I said, you want to taste it. You want to taste it to your liking. If you feel you need more salt, add more salt. If you feel you need more, whatever to your taste and your liking. Your greens, that's your greens right there. All right. So now that our greens are done, our salad is done. Now I'm getting ready to show you guys the sweet potato and what I do. Just a little technique for my sweet potatoes. So what you're going to need is you're going to need a skillet. Okay. You need to get your skillet right. And you're going to put your fire on. You don't need to put the fire on high. Put it on low. It's a low fire, let it heat up a little bit. Right? Then you're going to take some oil. Just a little oil. Just a little bit. You don't need much at all. All I'm doing is giving you my fingertips. That's it, man. You know? But this is like a technique I use at my restaurant. You know? By the pan is heating up, you're gonna take the sweet potatoes that you roasted, right? And then you're just gonna throw them in the pan. Right? So you're gonna put it on a medium. You know, you don't want it too high, you don't want it too low. So all you're really doing is just warming up your sweets. You know, just warming them up. Because I'm sure now it's probably cold since you took them out of the oven. So we got our greens, our sweet potatoes are going. So we have our greens, our sweet potatoes are going. We have our salad. We're almost done, son. We're almost done. So the moment you start to hear the sweet potatoes cooking, right? I think that's what I like to feel. I like to know how feel I'm getting. So if you can't cook like that, that's fine. Just feel so. You just gonna eat them up. Eat them up. You respond to that question. You respond to that question. Oh. Okay, so you'll turn once your sweet potatoes are hot. Once your sweet potatoes are hot, you're gonna take your agave. This is agave. This is agave. No, that's not agave. No, that's liquid meat. So you're gonna take your agave. You're just gonna pour a little bit. Just a little bit. Right, you see that? I need you to bust it out. Like I said, agave is another sweetener, a natural sweetener. You know, a lot of times we can use before I finish telling you about agave, as soon as you put your agave on, turn the fire on. Turn the fire on immediately. But what's going to happen is the agave is going to start burning. You don't want that. So agave is a natural sweetener that comes from the cactus family, right? And it's stuff that we got in the raw agave. It was a low glycemic. It's a great alternative other than sugar. So what you can do is you can add your agave. You can add a little vanilla. If you have it, you can add some cinnamon. You can add some cinnamon. You can add a little vanilla if you have it. And yeah, and agave. And there you go, you know. I actually found some cinnamon in the kitchen. So I'm gonna add a little cinnamon. Yeah. That's it. That's sweet potato. The next thing you're gonna do is your eggplant. We're almost done, Abby. We're almost done. So the next thing we're gonna do is our eggplant. Same thing you did with your sweet potatoes, you're gonna do with your eggplant. Then you wanna take slices of the eggplant. You don't have to take much, right? Just a little oil. Just a little bit. Don't need much. Let it all circle around. You're gonna drop your eggplant into your pot. So what you're basically doing is you just really rewarming your food. What we're getting ready to do is put a little liquid aminos, right? You can use liquid aminos or you can use coconut aminos. I I like coconut. I use both, you know, depending on what I'm cooking. I think just eggplant is great for the regular aminos. So aminos, what aminos do, it enhances the flavor. Like for some reason, that's what I find it to do for me. I put aminos in my gumbo sometimes, and it's just a real flavor enhancer, you know, and it just brings the flavor out more. That's why you don't need much of it. If you use too much aminos, then it starts tasting like aminos. And that's you don't want that. Somebody that does not have aminos in the house, a great substitute for Worcestershire sauce. You can use the W. I call it W because I have a hard time saying Worcestershire. Yeah. So see that? Look at me. I was getting ready to do the show. Sometimes I take it and my hand is just each existing. Like I can literally touch the fire and not burn myself. Look at this. So you can actually smell the seasoning coming from the eggplant. All you're doing is flipping it on both sides. Turn your fire on low. Turn your fire on low, Sam. So you want to turn your fire on low. All you're doing is cooking it on both sides, really warming it on both sides. Once they warm on both sides, you're gonna add a little aminos. Just a little bit. Right? That's just to wake it up. And some more steak seasoning. A little bit more steak seasoning. Man, I can smell it. Yeah. There you go, huh? Yeah, you're not looking for a color change or anything. All you're simply doing is heating it, adding a little bit more seasoning, add a little bit of liquid aminos because you want to enhance that seasoning. You want it to taste more steaky. If you have Worcestershire sauce or the W sauce, I like to call it, just add a little Worcestershire sauce. That'll give it more of a steak taste as well. Like I said, the eggplant doesn't really specifically have a taste. It's just however you season it, that's how it tastes. So I'm turning my eggplant off now. I've turned my eggplant off because it's ready to be plated. The same with my greens. You see that? It's like a nice sear. Just know it'll be up. If you can find a whole eggplant like this, that'd be great. Like this. I did a full children of eggplant. And that's it. Any questions at the moment before we start digging? I have any questions? I need to talk y'all here to make sure y'all see it. Any questions? So, just want to know about your experience. Was it simplified? Was it easy for you? What was challenging for you? Cool beans, that was great and healthy. Thank you so much. Thank you, Tara. I appreciate y'all being a part of this. And hopefully you can actually come check me out at I-Tal Garden, 810 North Cleveland. But we really have great, extraordinary food. From what people say, it's not from my mouth because I cook it, but from what people tell me, you know, like we're the best in the city. That's what they tell me. You know, I just stay humble and keep working. So we get ready to plate up now, which is one of my favorite things I love to do. I love plating. I think plating is art. And it's interesting because I never know how I'm gonna plate something until I get to the plate. So throw our sweet potatoes on. Smelling so good. Man, these greens smell good.
So Melanie says that this was easy and great because she eats vegetables all the time.
Okay.
She is now at a vacation.
Yeah. Awesome, awesome. Thank you, Melanie. I'm glad you enjoy it, and you were able to add this to your line of recipes. I definitely enjoyed this experience. By the way, this is my first time doing the cooking online. I don't think it's gonna be my last now that I didn't open the box, but I'm definitely enjoyed it. Okay, so this is our like I told you, I never know how I'm gonna plate something until I actually do it. That's the fun of it. So I'll move this to the side, right? That's our greens.
Go get your bowl for salad.
Okay, cool. Got a bowl for salad? All right, so I was making room for that. Okay, that worked perfect. And then our eggplant, our steak eggplant, quote unquote. So the steak eggplant, what makes it great, if you like steak sauce, quote unquote, the vegan, of course, you could put a sauce on it, put a little steak sauce on it, and it'll bring out the flavor even more as well. Okay. I ain't got no garnish or anything, but that'll work. Then we have our bowl for our salad. You're going to toss it around one more time. Oh, the cucumber. So we didn't get the cucumber, but hopefully you got your cucumber in there. Another thing you can do is fresh dill. Chop some fresh dill and add it to the salad. It complements the cucumber so well. Fresh dill is good as well if you ever want to do this again. That's our salad. All right.
The question was about how much fresh dill to use in your chef.
You don't need much. You don't need much. I can tell you if it's fresh, dill is very potent, and then the micro, it's good. So you don't need much. I would say if you're doing one avocado to a few tomatoes, just use maybe a half a tablespoon. It depends on how much you like dill. If you really love dill, go ahead, have at it. But you don't need much dill at all. And yeah, I wish I had some steaks on probably. But there you have it, family. A nice I-Tal dinner. Light, cleansing. And you should feel great after eating it. You shouldn't feel fatigued and tired with what they call it, the itis. I don't think you should have the itis either. And that's what I aim for. That's what I shoot for at I-Tal. I want people to feel good after leaving. I don't want to feel like they want to go sleep.
Chris, what Kim want to take it out?
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, our second annual Guest Chef Night, Chef Ra. I know you're at home, about to dine in. Let's if you're at home, give my virtual round of applause. We really just want to thank him for not just participating this evening. If we did not mention, Chef Fry is also one of our lovely restaurant partners that provides externships and training for our young people. So, little known fact about our program is once young people actually do their training here, they actually go off site to restaurants all over the city with restaurants that have agreed to partner with us to continue their trainings on site. And a lot of our restaurant partners are open to hiring, which Chef Fry is as well. So we really want to just hold him up for being here this evening. He's just been an amazing partner and advocate for youth. And we love the mission. We love what he's all about with his food. We hope that you loved it this evening. Yeah, we hope you're all digging in tonight. Don't want to keep you much longer. We know it was a lot of preparation for a beautiful presentation. But before we go, I just want to thank everybody tonight. We got the lovely Kennedy. Come on, Kennedy, say Kennedy was here this evening.
Thank y'all.
I want to recognize Chef D, Chef DeBoer.
Thank you all.
Chef. Just like to have fun tonight. And obviously, I want to last but not least, I want to definitely thank my man in the booth, Chris. This is not going to be your last time. Chris, you see him on the screen. There's another one of our young students tonight who was helping me. As you guys know, we suffered some technical difficulties last time, but thanks to Chris and his knowledge of technology, we would have, I think, one of the best guest chef nights I think we've ever done. So thank you, Chris, in the booth for being here this evening. And as always, it's been my pleasure to be here, my honor. And I just want to give one quick shout out. May 4th is coming up. It's Give Nola Day all over the city. And the way we work that out is we need as many people as possible giving what they can. We're not looking for $2,000, $5,000. If you can give $5, $10, $20, that helps us out. So go to the Give Nola Day website and then give to Liberty's Kitchen on May the 4th, because it helps us continue to support our chef partners. It helps us to continue to support our young chefs in the making, and it's just our mission involved, and it's all love. And it takes a village. It's just one thing I believe. So thank you all this evening for being here tonight. Oh, May 27th is our next guest chef night. Sorry. Yes, I also want to remind everybody on the call, our next guest chef night is May 27th. We have Chef Meg from Commander's Palace who will be here that evening. So she'll be demonstrating some culinary cuisine. You guys will see some information about that coming out. Because this was a successful Zoom, I will also be reaching out to everybody in the next day or so with a copy of this link so you guys can have it in your repertoire for those that want to continue with this recipe and try to make it again. So thank you, everybody, for being here this evening. Hope you had a great night. Hope you enjoy your food, and guest chef night in the bag. Thank you, Chef Rob.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Good night, everybody. Thank you.